Welcome back. So today is super exciting. It's also really sunny right now, but we are going to make the hearth for our wood stove, which is so exciting. Connor has been wanting a wood stove since he was very young. When we were dating, I remember at like 15, he always talked about one day we're gonna have a house together and have a wood stove. So I think it is so sweet that we're finally doing this. It's taken us a very long time, I feel like, to finally get to this point because wood stoves are very expensive, so it's definitely an investment. And we wanted to make sure we got the right one. So probably next week, hopefully, we will actually post the video of us installing the wood stove and showing you guys the final product of what everything looks like. We're gonna do like a fun feature wall, I think, behind it. So that will be really exciting. But in this video, we're going to show you guys us building the hearth. We're going for kind of like a rustic look. We want to do a German Schmear on it, which I think will look really beautiful and timeless. So hopefully this all works out and comes together and looks beautiful. But let's go get started on it. So over here we have all the stones that we bought the other day, and as you can see, they are drying really nice. And then from a job that Connor did, he was just throwing out all of these. So this one he ended up keeping. So we're gonna be able to use this. I'll show you guys what we're gonna do because it is a little bit different of kind of a setup, but I think it's going to just be the easiest way to do it. Connor just taped off exactly where the wood stove hearth needs to be and how far it needs to come out. And because it is a corner wood stove, it is a lot bigger than if it was just against a wall. So you can see like our instructions kind of like say how big it needs to be. So we just cut out this template here, and so what our plan is to put all of the stone on here. That way we're not putting like a mortar on our hardwood floors. If we ever move and people want to take this up, or if we stay here and we decide for some reason we want to take this up and do something different, we're able to do that and the floors aren't all ruined. Next step is to set the stone, and like I mentioned before, we are doing something a little bit different just to make it a little easier for us, and also it was more cost effective. So we took that extra stone that Connor had, that big square, and we put that in the middle, and we had cut it to the size of the wood stove. That way we know that whatever the wood stove is sitting on, it is level and it's on even ground, and we're not going to have any problems with it being rocky for when the inspector comes. Because obviously these other stones we have and doing the German Schmear, it's going to be more of a very like weathered look. So it is going to be very uneven. So you just want to make sure that whatever your wood stove is sitting on, it is secure and nice and even. So next we took this tool and there were some stones that we needed to cut. So we just cut those. So here's the piece that we cut, so it will fit into here. And obviously it's not gonna have that, natural edging that this does, but since we're doing a German Schmear, it will be able to be covered a little bit, so we're not really gonna notice that. So we have this piece, and then also broke off a couple of these little pieces that we could probably also fit right in here. Next piece. Let's see. Beautiful. So So here's what we're going to be using. This is for tile and stone. We had it left over from our bathroom that we just did. So this is just what we're going to put down to glue all of these stones in place. The first stone that we did was the largest one because this was the most important, so we wanted to make sure this was exactly in the right spot. We also took some painter's tape and went across the baseboard because in our next step, we're going to be adding concrete to this whole area. So we just wanted to make sure that nothing would be leaking through.
And I knew it would catch up and that we would be the ones left behind.
I was so determined to do the stone, but I will say it was very hard to do with my pregnant belly because it kind of kept getting in the way and you have to be very hunched over. So it was a little difficult, but definitely was a really fun process to do.
I gotta stay here for some time. Time is gone and I grew up. I somehow made it through without losing sight.
Now we wanted to build a frame around the hearth just to set it all in so it all looks really nice. So we have this old piece of barnwood left over from the mantle that we made. I do have a video on this if you guys would like to see how we made it. So what we're gonna do is take this new piece of lumber and try to recreate that look.
Gotta stay here for some time. Bruises they come.
I have a bunch of tools here to help us create this old look. So I have a sander to get off any of the barcodes and things like that, a hammer, why can't I think of what this is called? I don't know why I'm blanking, but we have this and we're just going to go over all of the pieces of wood now that they are cut to the length that we need. So I just started off by sanding off all of the barcodes. And I really made sure to especially go on the edges because I think a lot of older wood, their edges are pretty rough. So you don't want anything to look like sharp or round or new or crisp. You basically just want everything to look really beat up. So I took both sides of the hammer and went over with that, and then I took the crowbar, is that what it's called? I think so. And I kind of like dug into the wood a little bit and dug out some chunks of wood, and just really took out any aggression that I had. So next we took this tool. I'll link all the tools down below that we use and all the supplies, so that way it's easy for you guys to get to. Connor just wanted to try out a couple different attachments and see if any of that kind of like changed the appearance or made it helped it to look a little bit older. Then we went in with the torch, which was so much fun. I wanted to try out a couple different ways of distressing the wood and staining it. So I made some very dark coffee, and then I even took the coffee grinds and just put them back into the coffee. And I'm using this as a natural stain. So this is just something very easy you guys can do at home. It obviously doesn't really cost anything if you have coffee at home. So I just made sure to make a very dark roast. That way it would give us a very nice rich color. So you could just keep applying a bunch of coats to this if you want, but you can see after one coat it really does bring out a lot of color. So this is what it looked like when it dried with just one coat, and I think it is beautiful, but it's still not quite the look that we're going for. I really like that original piece of barnwood that I showed you guys. It was more of like a deeper brown, so I got some stain in the color Jacko Bean and I stained the wood, but then the issue was that it looked too new. So we took some gray paint and then added a little bit of black into it with some water, and then rubbed this all over the pieces of wood, and then kind of rubbed that off, and it left almost like a film on it as though it was a dirty piece of barnwood. And we really like how this came out. It looks the most similar to the original piece. Next, we took self-leveling concrete, and I will link the one that we used down below for you guys. And we went into all of these cracks. That way we don't have to fill it up all the way with grout. My dad had mentioned that if we were to just fill it all the way up with grout, because some of the areas would be like an inch, like over an inch tall, it would be very easy for the grout to crack. But if you have a self-leveling concrete, not only does it really hold the stones into place, but also it'll make it easier for the grout. The color that we're gonna use to fill in all this grout is called Avalanche. You guys can see this is white, and then it's more like a creamy color, so I think it'll really help to bring out the color of the stone and look really nice. We want it to feel very old and rustic, so hopefully that will kind of help to add to it. And I'm really excited to try this smearing technique and see how that goes, because I think it's gonna look so beautiful. Here is what it looks like. I might put this in a different container because this is kind of hard to reach into because it's so tall, but we can get started. I feel like I should put this into a pastry bag and just like, and then just do the smear part after it. Okay, so what I'm gonna try is, I have a piping bag for cake, but I'm going to go like this. We're gonna put some grout in here because it actually will, I think, be a little bit easier to get into some of these tight spots with it. I feel like I'm baking something.
The old days.
It's like, yeah, it's like mixing all of my worlds together. My baking worlds that I used to do. Now this world. Scissors. Twist. Alright, let's see. Ooh, that's easier. You guys, I'm not crazy. They actually sell grout bags. We had to come back to get another bag of grout, but they have this. I thought all the YouTube police were gonna yell at me and be like, you can't use that, but look,
Now
it's...
they're gonna yell at you because you didn't use this.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, you should have used that one. You can't use a piping bag.
So the easiest technique that I found to do this smearing is to apply your grout in. And some of you guys may already have like a fireplace or hearth that already has grout in it, so you don't even have to worry about this step. But the best technique that I found to give it that old look is to start feathering in the edges. So I kind of pushed away from the stone because I didn't want to cover the stone too much. And then any extra that I had on my hands, or I would just take a little bit on my hands and kind of rub it in, and then just rub my hand all over the stone. And as you guys can see, it really just helps to make it look so much warmer. And it definitely reminds me of the movie The Holiday. It just reminds me of that cute little English cottage. But I love how it looks. I've seen people do it where they, take their spatula or a sponge and really just go over the stone completely. And you can do as much or as little grout and smearing as you want. Connor really, really loved this stone. He was like very protective of it, and he just didn't want it to be completely covered. I really like the amount that we did. I think it's the perfect amount because it makes it look worn in and rustic and weathered, but also it's not too white or too covered. I think it's like the perfect amount for our house.
You're gonna wait till this product gets a little flat, 'cause if you go like this, it's gonna...
We had to put Wilbur's paw print in. We thought that just needed to be done. But here is the final result. I am so in love with how this turned out. I'm trying to not show you guys too much of the wood stove right now because that will be for next week's video. But we installed the wood stove last night, and then when I was editing this morning, I realized I never got like a full video clip of what the stone looks like before the stove is in. But oh my goodness, it looks so incredible. I'm so happy with how this turned out. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful to you all, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.